Here's how to use the SAT doc. So first, you have the main tab, which also has links to every other tab here. It also has important upcoming dates, so right now, September 12th is the final day to register for the PSAT if you're going to JV and you're a junior. So make sure to sign up for that. Here's the link. October 1st is the day we take the PSAT, and October 4th is also an SAT date. Then if you scroll down more, you also have some guides. So here I have stuff on like what the PSAT layout is, what national merit is, how to check your practice scores on Bluebook, and of course how to download Bluebook as well. And then finally I have some other resources here. Now at the very top is my recommended study playlist, and there's also some other links to some TikTok creators that you could use if you want some tips. There's also some other websites, but I never use these websites. Everything that I use I put on this doc, which is from the question bank itself. Now there are some new questions that they just added, but I'm too lazy to sort those, so if you really wanted to see them, you could click on this folder right here. But once again, everything I used was on this doc and it was enough to get me a 1520, so yeah. And then the second tab is the reading and writing tab. Now you can get to this tab by clicking the reading and writing on the left. And if it doesn't show for you at first, it might look like this, and you can just click this icon in the top left. Or it might say something like show document outline on the left, and you could just click that. Or once again, on the main tab itself, there is a hyperlink to the reading and writing tab. Now currently, reading and writing isn't finished because I low-key play too much games instead of recording videos, but the PSAT is in a month, so I wanted to get this out. Anyways, if you're watching this past December, then it's probably finished by then. Now the reading and writing tab is broken up into its 4 content domains, and you can see those right here. Now you can click on the hyperlink to get to it, or you can just scroll down. Now if you remember, on the main tab I did a lot of scrolling, so if you want to prevent that, I highly recommend that you go to this gray title right here, and then on the arrow right next to it, right click it, and then click collapse all headings of same style. That way you can easily scroll through all of them. So once again, I'm gonna just go back to the main tab real quick. You have to do all of this scrolling normally, but if you went to this gray heading right here, collapse all headings, then it looks very nice. Alright, anyways, back to the reading and writing. It's gonna be in the same order. At the very top in the black bold is gonna be the content domain, as you can see up here. And then the second one is going to be the skill. Finally, the third one is going to be the sub-skill. Now the sub-skill isn't actually shown on the SAT, only the content domain and the skill is. However, I further broke those down into sub-skills for some of them. And then after that, for some of them you'll have a notes video, like this one right here. Some of them you won't. Then all of them you'll have key takeaways. Now the key takeaways are basically just a notes video, but I typed them out instead. So if you really wanted to listen to my ASMR voice, you can watch a notes video, or if you didn't want to, you could just read the key takeaways. And then after that, you have the questions. Of course, it has all the practice problems on it. And then once again, you can see up here, you have the domain and the skill, but the sub-skill, which was main idea, doesn't show up. Back to the SAT doc. You also have the answer key for all of the questions. And finally, you have the walkthrough video. And what the walkthrough video is that I just went through every single question. So if you didn't understand a question and you didn't want to read the key, because sometimes the key is really long, you can just watch me go through every single question. And of course, you can just skip to that question. You really should not just watch the video by itself, because this video right here is 47 minutes long. I don't think any of you want to be listening to me for 47 minutes. So instead, you should just try to do the questions yourself, and then whatever you don't understand, skip to that question. Also look, I somehow managed to land on this question, which is about Beowulf, and we'll be reading this in English for DC, so pretty cool I guess. And then, the third tab is the reading and writing key takeaways. Once again, this is just the typed of notes, and it's broken down into the content domains, but also the sub-skills. Now if you go ahead and scroll down, you'll notice that there's a whole bunch of nothing, cause I haven't written anything yet. But, you know, I mean, it would be here if you were watching this after December, probably. And then, the fourth tab is math. Now this one actually did finish, and it's also broken down into its domains. Now I also added an extra one for Desmos tricks. If you go ahead and scroll down, once again, you probably want to collapse all the headings, so go to the gray title, click the arrow, collapse all headings. And you notice that I've definitely finished everything on here. And once again, there's a notes video, key takeaways, questions, key walkthrough video. It's the same on the reading and writing and math. The layout is the exact same. And finally, the fifth tab is the math key takeaways. Just like the reading and writing ones, it's broken up by the content domains and subskills. Content domain, subskills. Now I actually finished writing the math ones, so if you scroll and look on the right, you notice that there's 171 pages. Now this is when on full screen and on a big monitor. If you're on a Chromebook, then it's at least 200 pages. But also, don't be intimidated by this number, because most of it is just really big pictures. Anyways, you definitely want to go ahead and go to the gray heading and right click on this arrow to collapse all the headings. Now it might take a little bit because there's 171 pages, but after that, look at this. There's only 5 pages and look how easy it is to maneuver around. Now this is probably like the 6th or 7th time that I've said this, but the key takeaways are just the typed up notes. So you notice here, it's all the notes typed up, and I also color coded some of them, so look at that. And once again, it's really just pictures, so don't be worried. Alright, that was a quick intro to what's on the SAT doc. Now looking at this straight up can definitely be extremely overwhelming, especially when you just see 170 pages. But at the same time, don't feel too overwhelmed. I mean, most of this stuff is extremely basic. If you go to area and volume here, you literally have a whole reference sheet on how to use area and volume equations. So most of this stuff you probably already know. There's only going to be a few subskills that you need a little more help on. And to find out what those subskills are, you should look at the other video on how to check your Blue Book practice test scores. Alright, good luck studying y'all. If you used this doc and got a 1500 on the SAT or PSAT, make sure to help a brother out and cash out me $5. Alright, I'll see ya.